Hey guys, Matt aka Martilm here. So, as some of you might know, I'm working on an album at the moment, and one of the techniques I've been doing a lot of is resampling. So today I thought I'd show you how to create a unique arpeggiated pattern, sounds like this, using Ableton Live. So, let's jump right in. Okay, so I'm here in an Ableton Live session, a new one. I've got an instrument open up here, something I've just put together really quickly, sounds like this. Really kind of dirty, one-shot, kind of plucky sound. So the first thing I want to do is create a MIDI clip, and I'm just going to pick a chord or a scale. So I'm going to use G minor in this instance. So what I'm going to do is put in every note of the G minor scale, which is G, B flat, D, F, A, C, and E flat, and I'm going to put them in thirds apart. If you don't know music theory, I've got a series that's going to be coming out very soon, explaining where we'll get to be explaining a lot of this stuff. So what this is going to do now is, I'm not going to play this because it'll just play one note. It'll just sound like this, which is not what we want. So what I'm going to do next is to make this kind of arpeggiated sound is to go into my MIDI effects over here and drag in an arpeggiator. Now the next thing I want to do to try and make this kind of random so that we can play around with it, so I'm going to change the rate to 16ths. And I'm going to play with the gate later, but I'm going to change the style so that it goes random other. And what this is going to do is it's going to take all the incoming notes and it's going to play one of the notes randomly, and then it's going to play another note. It's going to play a random other note that's been inputted, but it's going to play a different note to what it would have played before. And then it's going to keep doing that, not repeating any notes that it's played previously until it's played through all the notes that it can, and then it's going to restart the cycle again, playing random notes each time. So if I play this now, this is what it's going to sound like. So what I want this to do as well, this sounds cool, but I'm going to change the steps value here. I'm going to change this to 2, let's say. And what this is going to do is it's going to take what this is, what the incoming MIDI signal is giving into it, and then it's going to arpeggiate it up 2 octaves as well. So it's going to triple the amount of notes that are coming into it, because it's duplicating the notes that are going into it up multiple octaves as well. So if I play it now, you hear what it sounds like. Sounds cool. I might even drag it up to 3 so we get just a bunch more variation. And you can hear those high notes coming in occasionally. So this is sounding really cool. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to create a new audio channel, and I'm going to set the audio out from this instrument rack channel to the audio channel that I've just created. And then I'm going to hit record arm on this audio channel. If I set the monitor to in, we should hear this and play it. We should hear this instrument rack coming through this audio channel, which we do, which is awesome. So then what I'm going to do is just hit record on this audio channel and then just let it play out for a while. Let's say maybe a minute, 2 minutes, and then come back to it and try and chop it apart and find something in there that's cool. Cool, so now we have this audio file that's just basically taken the arpeggio and it's randomized it. It's taken the incoming signal that we've generated with the arpeggio and it's just rendered it into an audio file for us. Actually, if I just play this, I can skip through it. And it's just the randomized arpeggio file, which is really cool for what we want. So then the next step that I want to do is actually create a new MIDI channel. And this is something you've probably seen me do a lot of in my Make Track Monday series. If I grab this audio file and then drag it onto the MIDI channel. So if I have the MIDI channel selected and then click and drag this audio file that this audio clip we've just created here down into the device view, what it's going to do is drop it into a simpler device for us. And this is really cool because now what I can do is slice it. So if I change it off warp and I slice it by beats and let's put the divisions to, you know what, let's keep it on quarter notes. And then if I move this around here, you can see the slices move with it. And if I play any note on my keyboard, what it's going to do is, or on my push or whatever, what it's going to do is play the corresponding slice up to 64 slices. So that's really cool. So again, I'm going to drag the velocity down to 0, put the volume up to 0 as well. This means we get a kind of consistent level across all of the slices. And now what you can do is just play around. So find the lowest note. So if you press the lowest playable note with it, you'll see that it's C1. It'll light up here. And then find the highest playable note, which is this E flat or D sharp 6 up here. Just drag them out so that you know that those are the notes you've got to work in between. One thing you can also do if you want to, which I do recommend, is just duplicate these notes and make sure that you've got every single note in between them all. And then once you've done that, click fold. And what it's going to do is only show the notes which have MIDI notes on them, so that you can just play around with these and know that whatever note you input, it's going to have sound coming out of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a loop with a length of 4 bars, and I'm just going to randomly input some notes, just using the pencil tool. So if I press B, then that'll create the pencil tool here for me, or I can double click and input notes into the piano roll. And then I'm just going to try and come up with something that I like the sound of, and then I'll be back with you. Cool, so I've got something here that sounds kind of workable with. It's not amazing, but it'll do for the purposes of this. Now, what you can also do, which is really cool within Simpler, is you can warp the audio clip within Simpler, which I really like when they added this feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transpose it up 12 semitones. Also, just to quick note, when you drag the start position, you want to drag it to the start of one of the transients within the audio clip, just to make sure that everything is aligned properly. You can mess around with that actually, and you can get some cool results, but for the purposes of this, make sure that it's dragged to the start of a transient. So yeah, the next thing we want to do, drag it up 12 semitones, so you'll get something sounds like this. Pretty crazy because it's sped it up, but if I put it on warp, put it onto beats mode, which it's already on, and then preserve, for the case of this, we're going to do 16ths because it was the original speed of our arpeggio. Change the mode so that it is in off mode. So basically what this will do is just play a 16th note, and then it won't play it any further. You'll hear what it sounds like. It basically just makes it sound so that it's straight 16th notes. If I drag the envelope down, then they'll become sharper and shorter. Pretty cool. I could also transpose back down. Play around with transposing, and then we've got this cool little arpeggio sound just here. So from this point, you can just play around with some things, like, for example, maybe you want to resample it again. So what I would do in this situation is, instead of recording it out, what I would do is right click on the channel, I would freeze it, and then depending on whether or not you wanted to keep this original track that you've got here, what I would do is create a new audio track, and then just Alt, click and drag this clip that we've created here onto this new audio track. And what this is going to do is drag out the rendered audio for us as a loop. And then you can muck around with it from here. So just apply some random effects to it, maybe some saturation, some ping pong delay, compression at the end with some soft clipping, and just muck around with it. And there you have it. a nice little arpeggio sound that you can do really, really quickly. And if you're stuck for inspiration, this is a good way to get some, just using some MIDI effects to randomly generate some notes and then resampling it and resampling it again and resampling it and just doing some crazy fun sound design stuff. Well, there you have it. A nice short and sweet video showing you how you can create some fun and unique sounds and patterns using Ableton Live. I hope you enjoyed watching and picked up some cool tips and tricks along the way. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you really enjoy my content, consider heading over to Patreon and supporting me on there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. My name is Martin, and I'll see you in the next video.